Welcome to my first snack size video. My name is Mel Wakeman. I'm a registered nutritionist and I've been working in the field of nutrition and health for the last 20 years. And what I find most often is that the public or you guys are confused about what you're buying from the supermarket. We think it's healthy and it turns out to be not so healthy. So I'm going to help explain what you can look for when you're making your purchases and tell you a bit about the benefits of yoghurt. So for me, I love yoghurt. I love it. You can have it for breakfast, you can have it for desserts, you can put it into smoothies, have it for snacks. Really, really versatile and can be really, really good for you as well. So lots of properties in yoghurt, particularly good source of protein, calcium, other vitamins and minerals. And for some of the yogurts, they can be a real sort of nice sort of rich dessert, but not so unhealthy as some of our other options. So what ones would you typically buy? Maybe you're like a fruity yoghurt fan. Maybe you tend to go for the low sugar or the fat-free ones. Maybe you can't stand the fruit ones and you're a sort of whole milk yoghurt or just a natural yoghurt fan. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I've got. So I went shopping in my local supermarkets that I tend to frequent and picked up a selection of what we typically buy as a family and what I think other people might be looking for as well. So our first one here is a low-fat yoghurt. Bought it from my was it an Aldi supermarket or a little supermarket, something like that. It might be sort of equivalent to a Muller yoghurt that you might routinely buy. And these are the larger sort of 250 gram pots, and of course you tend to eat the whole thing. So this low-fat yoghurt, as it says, contains 1.5 grams per 100. So that's definitely a low-fat product. To be called low-fat, it has to have less than 3 grams of fat per 100. Now, what they don't tell you on the label is that when they take out some of that fat, they have to replace it with other things to sort of try and keep sort of the consistency and quality of the product and the flavour. So what they tend to add are sugars and artificial sweeteners. So in here we do, funnily enough, have, as it is a fruit flavoured one, lots of different fruits and concentrates. And when we look at the sugar content, this has got 14.7 grams of sugar per 100. So if you're going to eat the whole pot, okay, that's like 37 grams of sugar. That's 7 teaspoons of sugar in your yoghurt pot, okay? That's a high amount of sugar and not something that's necessarily going to help with our teeth health and our waistlines and all the rest of it. Now when you look at a low-fat yoghurt, they tend to be, because they haven't got the fat in there, a little bit watery. So sometimes they will have added thickeners in there to help sort of mimic a richer yoghurt. So for me, this isn't something that's going to fill me up. Okay, my sugar levels are going to go up and then they're going to come down again, and I'm probably going to feel hungry in about half an hour's time. Anyway, that's that one. Next up, we have a creamy yoghurt. Again, another fruity one. This is a black cherry one. And so highest ingredient is yoghurt again. We've got cherries in here, and we've got glucose fructose syrup, which is sugar. We've got some more sugar, and we've got a bit more sugar. We also have some thickeners in here. So when I open this one up, in here, okay, a quick switch over, we've got a little bit more gloopy than the low fat one. So because it has a higher fat content, it has a slightly high level of richness. It's going to have a nicer mouthfeel, and those added thickeners, there's sort of pectins and guar gum, then sort of natural plant-based thickeners. They can give it that sort of more luxurious feel. So when we look at what's in here, we've got fat 7.3 grams, so it's a moderate fat product. Saturated fats are quite high, okay, and the sugars, we've got 14.6 grams, and that's per 100. So this is a 150 gram product, so we have to sort of bump it up again. So we're looking at around 21 grams of sugar in this particular yoghurt pot. So it's a higher fat content, a higher sugar content, that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So about 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar in here, okay. So when you sort of think that's what you're eating, again, it might be something that's certainly not for an everyday occurrence in terms of going into your lunchbox. Okay, so those are the fruity ones. Next, we've got Greek yoghurt. Okay, this is a Greek style yoghurt, pretty popular at the moment. Greek yoghurts can have a good sort of bacterial content in there. If you've heard about probiotics and prebiotics and so on, and they can be really good for our health and help sort of keep our gut happy, if you like. And we know that when our gut is happy, we've got sort of good bacteria or friendly bacteria in our gut, then that can certainly give us a better sense of general well-being and health. It can help boost our immune system and potentially also sort of improve our mental health as well. So this particular Greek yogurt is it's a 0% fat yogurt. Now, for a product to be called 0% fat or fat-free, it has to have less than 0.5 grams of fat per 100. So this one here has got 0.4 grams. So that's a low-fat product. Great if you're watching your fat intake. The saturate fat levels, which are the sort of the unhealthy fats that we're more concerned about, are really low as well. And the sugar content is 5.3. So sugar content, say for it to be a low sugar product, should contain 5 grams of sugar or less per 100 grams of product. So that's sort of on the borderline. So I think that's a pretty good choice as a sort of dessert or breakfast choice. So it's reasonably thick. I'm a fan of sort of thicker yogurts. You can, even with a low fat product here, sort of fool your mind into you're having a rich, creamy dessert or breakfast. And it sort of gives you that nice mouthfeel. And this is sort of yogurt where you could add extra flavourings to it, like a little drizzle of honey, or you can add fresh fruits or dried fruits and nuts and that sort of thing. Some of the plain yogurts can have a slight sour taste. That's sort of part of the fermentation process. So, if you're a fan of that, you can leave it unadulterated as it is, or say add a few little bits of things to sweeten it yourself. You're a bit more in control of the sugar content then. So next up we have a whole milk yogurt. Okay, other makes are available. So whole milk yogurt, this is organic and it's live. So they're really sort of promoting the fact that this has got naturally existing bacteria in here. So you might on other products have heard about lactobacillus or acidophilus. So these are the bacteria which really help to look after our gut and keep it healthy. So I'm a fan of these. So we take the lid off. So we've got here a whole milk yogurt, okay, so that again sort of dollops quite nicely, quite a thick consistency. And when we look at the sort of nutrition labels, we've got 4.2 grams of fat per 100. So we've got a moderate fat product, but it's not, when you look at a whole milk yogurt or a full fat yogurt, this isn't a high fat product. For a product to be called high fat, it has to have more than 17.5 grams of fat per 100. So it's still on the low end of a moderately fat product. And sugars here, you've got 6.5. So again, it's a sort of moderate sugar content in this particular yogurt. Now for me, when you've got a slightly higher fat content, that's going to keep me feeling like I've actually had something to eat, I've had breakfast or desserts, and keep me feeling fuller for a bit longer, because that fat's going to take a little bit of time to digest. So rather than having something like this, which is a sort of low fat, fat-free variety, which is basically a lot of sugar, I would go for a less sort of processed yogurt with a higher fat content, still talking about having these things in moderation. And I think that will make you feel a little bit more satisfied with what you've just had to eat. My little boy loves this. They're great for kids as well. It's not a reduced fat product. And the last one I've got is Skia. Okay, now Skia is a Swedish yogurt. And when I say yogurt, it's not yogurt in the true sense, whereas these other products here are made with a sort of yogurt starter. This is made with skimmed milk. And what they do is they heat up the milk and it ferments away and it thickens and thickens. And you end up with a really thick, rich style yogurt. I suppose it's almost like a cheese consistency. Okay, so it's really thick. And I like that in terms of giving that sort of richness in what you're eating and feeling in your mouth. And so we look at the nutritional ingredients or nutritional content on this one. And so we've got fat 0.2 grams per 100. So that's the lowest of all of these that I've shown you. Saturate's 0.1. So that for me, that's big bonus points. We're looking at low saturated fat foods. And sugars is 4. So that comes into the low sugar camp. Now the other thing that's different with this yogurt is that it's got a higher protein content. So 8 grams of protein per 100. So this is particularly going to be a product, I think, because protein also helps to give us that sense of fullness, that it's going to keep us going longer through the day and not wanting to sort of snack and get sort of sweet cravings after we've eaten something like this. So for me, this is my favourite, okay? The lowest in fat, low sugar content, high in protein, and this is a blueberry one. It also comes in plain and other sort of fruity flavours, so lots of options. I would go out and give this a go, okay? Enjoy your breakfast, enjoy your snacks, and give yogurt a go. Okay, thank you.